Hi guys, this is Meso here with Mesomakingit, and welcome to my kitchen where today we're making mustard greens. So I talked about mustard greens on another video. I believe I was doing turnip greens, and I was talking about doing a mix of greens where you cook mustard greens, turnip greens, and kale together. I think I was doing a kale video, come to think of it. So anyway, I just wanted to show you these mustard greens and what's the difference in them when it comes to cleaning. So I've already started running some water, and I got just a little bit of dishwashing liquid. And I want to show you that these mustard greens are a little bit harder to clean, a little bit more tricky, because they have like ruffles all around the edges of the leaves, or they're like gathered around the edges of the leaves. And so you have to really look at that, because in those ruffles, in those gathers, it's where little gnats or pieces of dirt, or sometimes even a piece of rotted leaf from another plant might be on them. So that's what you're going to be looking for. Just what's on them. Okay, here I'm finding weeds. Now this is no problem. These weeds are just as alive as the mustard green is, but they're just weeds that grew up in between the plants. And so that's no problem. Just take them out and you throw them away. And that's what this cleaning process is all about. As I told you before, some of the true South older people, they call this picking the greens, because I guess you see that I'm picking out some weeds. But they call it, I'm going to go pick some greens. So here I've picked my greens, and now I'm going to begin to wash my greens. So, in the washing process, again, as I said, you just want to make sure that you are looking at all of the leaves. You have to really, you just have to really look in those little ruffles. So you see what I'm doing? I'm looking in the ruffle front and back. Then I put it back down in the water, give it a good shake in the water, so that hopefully anything in it, if there is any gnat or anything, it would break loose. So here, these are just a little tiny pieces of leaves that I just don't want them in the water. And so you have to really, as I was saying, really look at these leaves. And some of them are have so many ruffles, they're actually closed, sort of tight. You have to open that up and make sure nothing is in there. Okay guys, I'm just going to go ahead and speed up this process. There's a bad one, so just throw that out. And I'm going to speed up this process so that we can move forward. Really, I'm doing this for people who know nothing about greens. It surprises me, but I find all the time it depends on sometimes where you live, but sometimes I find people that are in southern states that have just never had any kind of green, mustard, kale, collard greens, and usually when they do get their first helping of greens, they flip. They love it. That's why you have this craze right now of kale all over the country. People are doing kale so many ways, and they're coming up with so many recipes for kale, which I think is wonderful for this little vegetable that had for so long got little attention or no attention. But kale has been around forever. It is not a new vegetable. But anyway, today I'm just making the mustard greens because I just wanted to show you how to clean them, what they look like, and how to take care of them and get them to your pot. So I'm going to just be, going from, you've seen me do this before, I'm going to be just rinsing. After the wash, I just rinse from sink to sink, and I just rinse them until I know that they're clean. And you'll know that they're clean by eventually you're not getting anything off of them. Everything, the leaf looks fine, and there's no residue of dirt or anything in the bottom of your sink, in your water. Now what you might have is little pieces of leaves. That's okay, that's not dirt, but if you want to make sure that there's no dirt or sand or grit of any kind left in your sink, and then that's when you know they're clean. And I would still even rinse them another time. But that's what I'm doing here. And like I said, mainly just want you guys that not really sure, not comfortable with how you do your greens, just want you to see how you clean them. Not really just, when I clean greens, I always have a seat. I just pull up a stool and I sit down, and that's my time to really relax and enjoy myself and collect my thoughts, sing a little bit, or whatever I want to do. I really like picking or washing greens. So anyway, these are clean. You see inside my sink? Nothing there but except a couple of pieces of the leaves. So now I'm going to show you how you begin to actually get these stems out. So now in the middle of this mustard green, there is this stem is quite hard and quite woody, especially as compared to a turnip green. There is no way you want this in your meal. Sometimes when you go to a restaurant or to maybe your church function where they're eating or wherever like that, sometimes if they have greens, then they'll leave the stems in, or as much of the stem as they can. And to me, it just makes the dish horrible, because what they're trying to do is to stretch the greens that they have to feed more people, so they'll leave it in stems. Come on. Just buy another bunch of greens. It really ruins the taste for me when you leave those in. So what I'm showing you is that now I have a knife, and I'm just cutting right in and then pulling straight down with the knife, and the stem pops out. Before I was just using my hand and just pinching in that rib, that stem, and pulling it out. But now instead of the pinch, I'm using the knife, and I'm doing this to show you that it doesn't matter which one you use. Now I'm going to speed up the process and let you see that I'm no longer using the pinch or the knife. What I'm doing here is just picking up the leaf, holding it by its stem, and taking my other hand and just catching it and dragging down on the stem. And when I do that, I'm pulling off all the mustard green. So this is just the way I'm going to do it right now. But usually I keep a knife handy, and I sometimes use knife, sometimes I use my hands. Either way works. Okay. Now we got to get it in the pot. I didn't have time to do that yesterday, and actually that was yesterday, so I just put them in the freezer bag and put them in the freezer overnight, and I'm showing you my ingredients that I'm going to be using in these turnip greens, and you'll see me put them in. But these are frozen. These guys are frozen, and they're going to be fine. I love foods that you don't have to thaw. You can just get it into your crock pot frozen. My favorite kind. I'm getting this in some ham, and it's frozen also. But I'm just going to put it in because it's fine to use it that way in this kind of dish. And I'm getting all my mustard greens in to my crock pot. And I love these guys, you know that, these crock pots. And I just put in some chopped up bell pepper, yellow, green, and orange. And I put in some granulated garlic, some onion powder, some lemon pepper, and some salt. Now I'm putting my water down over that. And this is not going to be enough water. I'm going to have to get some more later. But right now, I'm just going to let it come up to heat, and I'll be back. Look what happened, guys. I came back 2 hours later, and look, I was so busy making my video that I forgot to turn my crock pot on. So it's 2 hours later, and I've got to have dinner on. Okay, so I got about an hour and a half before I have to have dinner on. So I just transferred all my greens over to a stovetop pot. Got it in, got it on, cooking it about medium high, and that'll be ready in time. Okay, save the day. We'll be back at plate up when this is done. Okay, guys, look at this. Do you see that steam coming off of this hot dish of mustard greens? Of course I cheated and I tasted them. They're delicious. Oh guys, look at the ham in here. You can either eat it or you can throw it out and not eat it because the flavor is in the greens. You're gonna love this yourself. Thanks for coming by my channel. In fact, I'm throwing down every day. If you like what I'm doing, guys, subscribe. Come on, subscribe. Bye-bye.